from your astonishing, uncanny pool guy.
Whoa.
Name's Pool.
Hey, whoa. What is going on here? Hey, Deadpool. Hey, I told you, you cannot host my show. Everyone's trying to host my show.
You talking to me?
Hey, everybody. I am Paul Scheer. Welcome to the world's greatest book club. I'm joined by Steve Wacker and Deadpool here. Sorry about that, Steve. I didn't mean to, kind of throw you off there.
That's okay, Paul. Boy, you really know how to turn me on.
Thank you, Wade.
Jimmy Chonga!
Steve, we're back. This is an event-sized episode of our show because we're talking about event books. There's a new event book coming out called Empyre.
This event gave us a chance to come back big. The story at its core is simply about one of our normal kid heroes who's put in a great position of responsibility in the wider universe.
Yeah.
But you'll understand the story through this character, Hulk Hulkling, and what he experiences.
I will be honest and say that sometimes I get a little foggy on the Kree and the Skrull and the Gotati. Like I don't know how they all interplay with each other, but I was really kind of surprised at how expansive this world is, but we are still focusing on a very personal story. And there's sure to be repercussions throughout the Marvel world. I know that there's already repercussions in the Scheerverse. You can kind of see like,
hosting your
hey,
show.
get out of here. Get out of here.
Can I interrupt your show?
Hey, you get out of here. Go. Already so many multiple Scheers going on. You can see there's a rift in the space-time continuum.
Oh, I have the tiny Scheer from Earth 1258.
Hey, don't kill me.
No more Scheer!
Oh man, you're the worst. Well, anyway, I'm so excited for Empyre. I think I've been starved for Marvel books because we had that little break there, and now going into a big event, I just feel like a kid in a candy store, and I'm excited to have yet another reason to support my local comic book shop. But I wanted to ask you, Steve, how do I get ready for Empyre? What do I need to know?
Now, Paul, I notice you say Empyre, and yet it's spelled Empyre.
We have a very exciting guest on the show today. I am thrilled to chat with him. You know him from the Star Wars show or his podcast, We Have Concerns. Please welcome Anthony Carboni. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you, Paul. It's good to be here.
So, Anthony, what was the comic book that made the biggest impact on you growing up? What was your origin story in getting into comic books?
It's this weird mishmash in my mind when I think about how I got into comics of various Spider-Man related media.
Right.
My dad was real techie, and so we were one of the first people in the neighborhood to have a VCR, but there was nothing to rent yet. And so my childhood was a lot of the Archie's animated cartoon and the 60s Spider-Man.
I think for a lot of people, though, we got into comics this way, through TV and coming home after school and watching cartoons. And we've been talking a little bit earlier about these event books. And we're at the precipice of another Marvel event book. And I wanted to see if there's any event books from your past that you related to.
Ooh, this is a big question.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest one, my favorite of all time, is Secret Wars 2015.
Oh, there it is.
I have a permanent bookmark to the map of Battle World with the list of kingdoms because I think it's so funny and so clever and good.
Yeah.
I just love Hickman playing with all of these things that are archetypal to Marvel. It's just so clever. The whole thing is so clever in the way it uses your knowledge of Marvel as a fan,
Part of what we're responding to when we read it is the art, obviously a huge part of comic book storytelling, and you need someone who can draw anything. And when you have Esad Ribic drawing Secret Wars 2015, it does feel like there's nothing they can't throw at him that he can't make look amazing.
And you can tell that they had so much fun working together too. And you can always tell where a writer puts in things because it's oh, they're gonna like drawing this, or on this page, just go nuts.
Go nuts means the artist has to spend a week working on what it took the writer 3 seconds to write.
Make this look really cool.
Yeah, make this look good. It's all in your hands.
But there are so many great details in it. The lifeboat is so visually beautiful. But isn't there a moment where it's revealed that Miles Morales has been carrying around a cheeseburger in his pocket for 3 weeks?
That's a big question of where was the cheeseburger-sized bulge that Miles was carrying around.
Steve, do you feel like from the Marvel side, is there any considerations about how we're going to get to an event or how we build an event? Is that something that is a part of that process?
A couple times a year, we have our creative summits with a good portion of the publishing creative team. And we're getting ready to launch Empyre. And the seeds for this were planted by Slott and Al Ewing a couple of years ago.
What I really like about Empyre right now is that we have the Avengers and FF. They're the centerpiece of this event series. I'm pumped for that.
What Al and Dan definitely wanted to get away from was making it a FF versus the Avengers. Yet another story where friends fight each other and try to kill each other, much like this show.
I was asked to choose a weapon when I started the Skype call, and I thought that was very strange.
Yeah, that's coming up in just a second. It will be painful. Steve, do you know anything about Empyre? Like when Empyre finishes, is this going to have a dramatic effect on the Marvel Universe?
It is, yeah. There are some big changes coming. And I think where we're in our sweet spot is when we at Marvel are a little nervous about how the fans are going to react. Like it's our job to put them through the ringer, to put them through hell. I think Empyre is not the story at the beginning that you think it is.
So Steve, you've been in all these creative meetings, these summits. And has there ever been a time where maybe you heard an idea that didn't really sound good, but actually turned out to be something that, everyone was extremely excited about?
Yeah, I mean, look, that happens more often than you'd think because there's a difference between an idea and then when our writers and artists get it in their hands and start playing with it. But one that really sticks in my memory is the Superior Spider-Man, which is a storyline we did where Dr. Octopus takes over the brain of Peter Parker, and it led to the death of Peter Parker. And that was not a story that was beloved when Dan Slott pitched it the very first time. And we had to go away, work on it, bring it back a few times. But in the end, I think, that storyline took off. And I think all these people that worked on this book were all vindicated because that was a very hard story to accept because it was completely changing the status quo of Spider-Man.
Well, that's an example, obviously, of an idea that wasn't necessarily received well, but then actually was executed amazingly well. And I will say, Steve, I need you to talk a little bit about Secret Wars 2. What happened there? What happened at Secret Wars 2?
Wait, is Secret Wars 2 where we got Disco Beyonder?
Yes, so that's the first time you see the Beyonder, who's the big bad in Secret Wars 1, and he comes down to Earth. And there's an issue of Spider-Man where the Beyonder turns himself human to experience what it's like. And for the first time, he has a tingling sensation. He isn't sure what it is. So Spider-Man guides him to his bathroom. And Spider-Man's just waiting by the door as the Beyonder, I assume, urinates for the first time.
That's good, though. No notes on that. I don't know about the rest of it, but that's a great moment.
I don't know, Anthony, you've been watching World's Greatest Book Club with Paul Scheer for the last 6 episodes, but episode number 3, Paul learned the exact same thing for the very first time.
How does it feel now 6 months in to be human, Paul Scheer?
Not bad. I really like the peeing part of it. That really, honestly, is kind of the highlight. It really is. It doesn't get better than that.
You and the Beyonder.
Anthony, it's been so great talking to you about these books. I'm excited to see where this Empyre series goes. I'm excited that you are going to be along on this journey as well. But people can find you all over in the social media world. Also, you have an amazing show on StarWars.com that I've been a guest on and I love. And if you're a Star Wars fan, you have to check it out. It's so great.
Thanks a lot, guys. This was fun.
And now we're actually going to jettison the two of you for just a second because I'm going to talk to my friend Jen King. She owns an amazing comic book store in Texas. It is called Space Cadets Collection. It's awesome. She does great web shows almost every day on Facebook. Welcome, Jen, to the show. What's the tone been like in the store since you've reopened? Are people a little bit more distant? Are you still able to have this kind of hangout space?
My store is a hugging store. So if you're open to hugs, you'll get them when you come in. And it's just so weird not to have that part of it. Even with my staff is just like, Jen, it's been 2 months, no hugs.
I love that you hug. This is the first hugging comic book store. I love this. Or the first one I've heard about. That's so cool. And what were you doing during the quarantine to kind of keep that fan interaction alive?
We do a lot of reaching out via Facebook Live. We have 8 shows a week of either an hour or 2.
Whoa! So talk to me about your programming. What are your Facebook shows? Like, what can people see when they log on to see you on Facebook?
Well, half of my shows are on a network that I co-own with Jesse James called the Comic Book Shopping Network, and those are all throughout the week. And then I also have every day in my shop from 3 to 5. It's a personal walk around, personal shopping with me. So I will dig through any drawer that anybody wants to dig through. And it's a lot of fun because, again, it's that FaceTime that we don't normally get with each other when we live, all over the country.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. All right, so we've been talking about Empyre the entire episode. Jen, what's your theory? What do you think is happening?
I always believe that there's a secret agenda for every Marvel book. So I've already kind of got my through line for this one.
Ooh.
I think it's very suspicious that we have a plant-based species that's showing up right in the middle of the renaissance of having a plant-based island that is the source of everything for many of our main characters. So
I want to hear more of this theory. Tell me more of your theory, because we can hold you to it.
We have pieces of Krakoa everywhere, right? And all of Krakoa and everything that's attached to it, including all of the sister islands, is completely a together entity. And I think that it's not a mistake that this is happening.
I love it, and I'm already, you're making me so excited for it. All right, before I let you go, I wanted to ask you a question. Is there a Marvel book, like one that you kind of keep on the side that you're like, you know what? Check out this. Not many people talk about this one, but check out this one. Is there any Marvel book that you have like that?
So I am a huge champion of a series of books that kind of like snuck its way in right in front of Civil War II and Secret Empire, which was the Standoff at Pleasant Hill, which I think is the key to a lot of things that are going to go forward. I think Nick Spencer's got a through line with Kobik that's going to blow our minds.
Jen, this has been absolutely phenomenal chatting with you. You are awesome. I love your store. Thank you so much for spending time with us here, and make sure that you find and follow Space Cadets Collective. They are amazing. And thank you for your time, Jen.
Thank you so much.
Steve, the energy is palpable. I mean, this is an event episode of this show. I mean, if there ever was one, I mean, this is an event right here.
Yeah, this feels like part 36.
I mean, Steve, look, there are going to be multiple Scheers in the Scheer multiverse. I mean, we already saw one of them at the beginning of the show. I mean, who knows where this will go? But in the meantime, I want you to make sure that your Marvel Unlimited app is fired up, it's ready, so you can go check out some of these great books that tie into this event series. And make sure you pick up Empyre #1, coming out on July 15th in comic book stores and online. Also, you can read Jen and Anthony's picks on Marvel Unlimited or at your local comic book shop. Steve, see you next time. I don't know when next time will be, but I'll see you next time. I assume you'll be where you always are.
Okay, Paul, I miss you.
Thank you.
Can I interrupt your show?